What's up? Let's keep the awesome tradition that this channel has of giving you content on anime that no one has ever asked for, or it's even popular, or it's even like the thing to watch at the particular moment of me recording this video. So instead of doing anything on like solo traveling, Kaiju number 8, Windbreaker, which are like the hot things right now, I'm gonna talk about something that it's long past gone, which is Birdie Wing. Birdie Wing is this golf anime, and let me show it to you real quick. Uh, is this golf anime where honestly I didn't necessarily even think I was going to watch, but as of recording this video, I have a huge interest on particular anime that just kind of like accentuates or like exaggerates mundane things. And to be honest with you, golf is definitely one of those things that I find incredibly boring. So I thought that maybe anime would be the thing to make golf really entertaining for me, and I would be enamored now with this newfound passion that maybe, just maybe, I like golf now. But that's which kind of true and kind of not true at the same time. So the premise of this story is about this German girl, which is this one right here. Her name is Eve or Evanescence something. I'm terrible with names, so I will mess up a lot of these names. But is this girl who is a golfer, but she was trained to be a golfer, but not a professional golfer because, and this is the very first thing that I want to talk about in regards of this anime, and what I think is like one of the highlights of any anime, the exaggeration of mundane things. Like I said, I wanted to watch this anime because golf is just boring to me. So if anyone could make it entertaining, it would be anime. It would be the Japanese ingenious creative people that are just completely shut off from having social lives because they are just working tirelessly like slaves. But that's another point for another video. So here we have a golf anime, and this girl, we're gonna call her Eve, I think. So, anyways, the blonde chick, she was trained to be like a great ass golfer for from this like mysterious um teacher that resembles like freaking Uwe from Kung Fu Panda. He was like this like guru of golf, and then she trained under him, and it's great. She's amazing at golf, and we start the story with her just being a complete beast. But she's not a professional golfer. She's not going into like golf tournaments and stuff like that. She is what in this world is called as a freelancer golf. So apparently she's just like this underground golfer that people hire to even have match with, or for her to pose as different people. So the people receive the credit, but in actuality she's the one that did the golfing, which is ludicrous. And that right off the bat, I was like, you know what? I like this. I like the fact that they are taking a concept such as golf and like taking it a little bit underground, taking it a little bit outside of the norm. Like, okay, we have this underground golf society happening, which is fun. Like, if you think about it, it's actually fun. Um, so we have this. We have this girl, and then she's also taking care of this little kids, uh, which I, without any sort of like major spoilers, they're just important to her, they're just important, and they have a couple of like money problems and stuff like that, but she, with her abilities of playing underground golf, she's going to like beat the competition. Now, touching on the point of exaggerating life, how you have in Yu-Gi-Oh, Bakugan, Beyblade, you have a specific game, a specific thing to do. And then you have like your own ability with that. With Yugi was the Dark Magician, with Beyblade, oh, Dragoon, and with Bakugan, whatever Bakugan has. She is known as the Rainbow Bullet because her special technique is to just like hit the golf club, well, the golf ball, and calling like blue bullet, red bullet, yellow bullet, and they all have like different things happening according to however she hits the ball, which is interesting that in most of the anime it actually it's called like she's just very aggressive. So in reality she's probably just hitting the ball like hard as fuck. But hey, I'm all for like secret golf techniques. So here we have the pretty much the premise where we have her, and then she meets a rival because apparently there is absolutely no one that can rival her. Like she is just the absolute best. And if you were to ask me, hey, did you, obviously you're liking it, you're describing it and kind of like even praising it, so is it worth watching? And to be honest with you, that is a very difficult question to answer. So the best way I'm going to describe it is that I'm going to try to give you the best explanation on the first and the second season, because this is not an anime that I honestly found easy to just like talk about because of how it made me feel. It didn't necessarily feel good or bad. I just felt conflicted. So let's try to divide things up a bit. So let's start with the first season. In the first season, I was actually enjoying quite a bit the anime. Now the anime did not have at the moment any like any dub options. I think I would have enjoyed it a little bit more if it was dub because trying to like follow the the story beats and still try to focus on the golf lingo was a little bit hard, like reading it and trying to like follow what was going on. But that's not the point. The point is that the most attractive part about this anime was in the beginning, this golf underground society. Like I said, you have a lot of anime that have their own like special techniques, and the entire world revolves around that specific thing. Like I can think of uh Yu-Gi-Oh, like I said, the entire world is like, how do people not do anything other than Yu-Gi-Oh? Like everyone's playing Yu-Gi-Oh. Yu-Gi-Oh is like the only thing. Same with the Beyblade. Other sports anime do this too, like Captain Tsubasa, where everything is soccer. Everything is soccer, and everything revolves around soccer, and you have underground soccer matches and shit. Blue Lock, for example, like like the world focuses on the thing that it's talking about, which I find great. I'm not complaining about it. I think it's really good that they do that because it lets you appreciate how important this thing is for the world. So in this world, golf is so important that you have this underground golf society. There's even times where you see a character like under a bridge, like with like homeless people around, and she's like doing illegal golfing bets to have like this patch of grass, and it's telling people to like go and try to make a hole in one to win money, and people pay for that, but it's like rigged with some magnets so the ball curves at the very end. So it's like they even have illegal golfing. Like I just found that to be so endearing, right? But the cool part about it was this, the underground golfing situation where you have people golfing like in like not a golf course but like this train station type of thing with like steampunk stuff against like this masked lady, and then you have like this insane amount of strength going into the ball, because it resembles like a revolver, so that's what she's shooting. And fire, oh, it's just really, really entertaining. That's honestly what made golf entertaining to me. To see this. This is the underground part of the story that I was talking about. Obviously, you're never gonna have like serious golfers playing golf seriously as a train is coming by behind this steampunk building factory where one of them is wearing like a jester mask or something like that. That honestly was super, super, super cool. And you can see like this guy on the hat is one that made a bet that the mask lady was going to win, and this is how she earns money with illegal golfing bets. So it's just like, okay, I'm digging this. I'm digging this level of fantasy that they're adding to the golf system. Like, and honestly, I was waiting for them to see if they were going to do any sort of gimmicks. And what I mean by gimmicks is that, whenever you have your Yu-Gi-Ohs, and I think this is, I'm going to compare it a lot to Yu-Gi-Oh, because there's similar tropes, not because, oh, this is just similar, but they're game animes at the end of the day, in a way. And anyhow, in Yu-Gi-Oh, you have your specific characters that have specific decks. You have the guy that plays with dinosaurs, so he's the dinosaur guy. You have the guy that plays with insects, it's the insect guy, and he's just using insect cards. Yugi plays plot armor deck, so he brings whatever shit he imagines. But like Kaiba, for example, he plays with the blue eyes, so it's a blue eyes dragon deck. So everyone has their own little gimmick, and sometimes they're dressed up the part. Like, for example, with Weedle Underwood, which is the guy that plays insects, he has this little like insect jacket, so he's the insect guy. Then you have like the American guy, totally forgot his name, but he uses like a lot of dice rolling, cards and guns. He's American, and he has his American bandana, and like he's buff and blonde, so like he's American. He's the American guy. So they have their quirks, they have their things, and I was like, oh, okay, I'm interested to see. Like, we have our protagonist, she is the rainbow bullet, so that's her quirk. She has like different types of balls that whenever she hits, they do different stuff. That's cool, that's her gimmick. I really want to see the other competitors, and seeing this mask lady, I was like, okay, we're on a good track. We're gonna good track. So following the journey of this lady, we end up meeting this like golf mafia, which honestly sounds ridiculous, but in all reality, it's something that made the show interesting to me, because golf is boring in itself. So we meet this like golf mafia, and if you haven't realized by this point, there's gonna be somewhat of spoilers. So 14 minutes into the video, I'm like, okay, yeah, spoiler alert. But anyways, the show is old enough. It's been out for like 2 years or something, so it's not like there's not reason. It's not like anyone asked for it anyways. So anyhow, we meet this like a business lady that she has this compound that can modify the landscape in order to create any golf course that you want. And that is all cool and dandy, but she's like the leader of this golf mafia, where people have like their rigged bets and rigged things going on, and they want Eve, or the blonde chick to join their mafia, but she's like refusing. And that's when I actually found like, okay, this is interesting, because we are going to see now the quirky the quirk elements of this show. And this is an image of the business golf mafia at the compound that I told you about. And this is a part where uh Eve, yeah, Eve, oh, that's her name right there, Eve. Okay, so Eve is fighting the Vipress. Now you're probably asking, who the hell is the Vipress? The Vipress was the character that was like, okay, now we're getting into like the quirky characters that are gonna make this mundane sport that people take way too seriously into something like larger than life. And honestly, I got excited because this is what I wanted to see. I wanted to see golf being exaggerated to an almost fantasy level. Every other like anime does it, so might as well do it with this one. And that was interesting. So here we have Eve fighting the Vipress. The Vipress is this woman right here, and my God, as you can see, she will never ever make an appearance at any serious golf tournament. And now you're probably like, oh well, um, is she like a dominatrix type or anything? And you'd be surprised, because yes, she kind of is. I mean, look at the latex, look at the thing, and she's like doing her thing, right? And as you can see, like her opening, her opening the latex suit was an actual like on purpose, because her quirk is that she has this strong perfume pheromones things going on, where she unbalances Eve and every other golfer she plays against. So whenever she's like opening her chest, like it's as a mean of distraction, so people don't golf as good. And because of her scent, like people get a little bit unbalanced, so it's not like easy for them, and they lose because of it. And it reminds me of May Valentine from Yu-Gi-Oh, where she had like her little psychic gimmick going on, but it was because she had like perfume with her cards and stuff like that. So that I was like, okay, this is what I wanted to see. I wanted to see like these golfers with their quirks and stuff. So it was really interesting to see. As you can see, like the outfits are not even like part of like any sort of regulatory golf tournament attire. That's what's great about it. I felt really happy for that, because it really showed what the anime kind of intended to be, to be this over exaggeration of golf and making it like bigger than life in a way. But everything took a dark turn to me. It really did. And I wasn't expecting it. But I thought it was going to be good. And I'm going to just touch on the two things that I saw the comments on Crunchyroll highlight a lot. Now, let me go back to this image, because for me this is the beginning of the end for my liking of Birdie Wing. This particular character, this whatever her name is, I'm just gonna call her Cassie. I do not remember what her name is. Honestly, she's not a bad character in any way, shape, or form. She's really not a bad character. But whenever she is presented into the story, that's when things take like a different type of turn. So, parenthesis real quick on this little rant. The story of Eve, the blonde chick, as an underground golfer, beating underground mafia golfers with different quirks. so she can save enough money to save her friend's bar so it doesn't get like taken up by the bank, and she can feed her little like family or whatever. That is a very good premise on its own. That honestly is what the show should have been in a way. But the show takes like a parallel where yes, she is still, we are on third season, where she is still like battling the underground mafia and making allies and making enemies and fighting the bypress dominatrix bitch or whatever, and then doing her thing. And then on the other one we have her meeting Cassie. So when they meet, it's like at a practice golf field whatever thing. And Cassie is like the prodigy that comes from like this prodigy golfist family. So they're like, oh yeah, this is the girl that is gonna take over the golfing world. She's Japanese, like on the show she is actually Japanese. um so Cassie looks at Eve and she recognizes talent. It's like game recognizes game. So I need to go and talk to her. So she goes and it's like, hey, let's fight a little game. And they see that they are like on each other's toes. We have the Goku and Vegeta type of thing, and they decide to team up. And Cassie, as a professional golfer, says, "Hey, I want you to join an actual league. Like, I want to battle you, but on league terms, on an actual golf tournament, not like just play pretend." And Eve is like, you know what? I've never met anyone that is up to my level, so yes, I'm gonna take you on. So then we have two stories kind of going side by side: the underground golfing mafia and Cassie. And again, I'm not saying that Cassie, and again, I don't remember her name. That's why I'm calling her Cassie. I, it's not like she's a bad character. She's a good character in terms of the story, but this is where the show kind of started to derail a little bit, because the show promised me what I wanted: a very quirky and very larger than life anime about golf and like this underground golfing mafia. But then after Eve defeats the the dominatrix from hell, she she now goes to fulfill her promise to Cassie of playing at a league with her. And that's kind of the first season, where you had these two stories going on, and we want to see what's going to happen to the family and the people dear to Eve. And then you have Cassie being like the main rival, and you know everything. And the first season ends with the golfing mafia being like, oh, we need to get her, let's go and get her. So she ends up flying aboard. She goes to Japan, I believe. She goes to Japan. And the series has one of the best gags I've ever seen in any anime. Like, it almost made it worth the watch just for this specific gag, because Eve arrives to Japan and someone talks to her in Japanese, even though the entire show has been done in Japanese, but it's kind of implied that she's not speaking Japanese because she's in Germany at the time, or like England or whatever. And when she comes to Japan and people speak to her in Japanese, she speaks back in Japanese, even though she's, like I said, been speaking Japanese the entire time. And they're like, "Oh, your Japanese is great. I'm glad you can understand us." And then she has like a break the fourth wall moment where she's like, yeah, how can I understand you? And it goes on. So they kind of made like fun at the fact that, she's supposed to be like an immigrant that doesn't speak Japanese because she's from Germany or whatever. And we have that in anime all the time, right? That everyone in the world speaks Japanese. So I just found that to be like a very cute gag that she was like, "Oh yeah, how can I understand you?" Moving on, and just like continues with the entire series. Anyhow, so we are on season 2 now, and the stakes are really high. The golfing mafia is after Eve, and then she is about to go against her rival, Cassie. And I was like, okay, I can get behind this. I can see them like going toe to toe, and I wanted to see that. But that is where let's dive into the second part of this long ass rant, the second season. Now, I would be a liar if I were to say that the second season I was able to watch just as quickly as season 1. It actually took me like 3 times the time to watch season 2 than season 1, because instead of touching back on what made this show original, it just became all about the golfing tournament. And you have new characters with other quirks, like this one is the Jamaican girl, or this one is the Brazilian, this one is the one from this, and whatever. But it wasn't anything out of the extraordinary anymore. Like even in the first season, you had this random girl like who's like Eve's secret mafia boss, like use her power because she has a bionic arm or some stuff. So she's kind of like a freaking robot. And yeah, she loses her arm because the hit was like so massively strong, and there she is, like she's a robot. So that's the thing that I was expecting on season 2, but that was not the thing that I got on season 2. That was not it. This is what I got on season 2. We got caddies. We spent freaking like 4 episodes on Eve training a caddy so she can like be in the tournament or whatever at this golfing academy. And then we have like other side quests of just like the intricacies of a real golf tournament. And that's what the show becomes. It becomes a golf tournament where you have like spectators and at an actual golf course with proper golf attire, and like instead of Eve deciding to shoot with her only golf club that she uses, and that is like a like heresy for golfers, where she's like, oh, I'm gonna use the same club for everything. And they're like, why are you not using the ironclad 4D? Like that's the one you need for this specific terrain. She's like, I don't give a shit, and just like goes for it. Here we have her just being like, oh yeah, I'm gonna listen to my caddy like a normal golfer would. And and that's it. So it becomes way, way, way more boring. Where this is another one of the of the opponents, and as you can see, there's a distinct difference, and I'm not talking about the skin color, between her and the seductress from hell, the Viper. The Viper clearly would never make it into the golfing scene. But this girl right here does. She's wearing proper golf attire. She's wearing even the little like half hat that white people above the age of 45 wear at golf courses and stuff like that. It's normal. It is what golfing in reality is. Again, I haven't been to many golf tournaments, but I've seen people play golf, and I understand the basic premise of it. And this is what it is. This is normal golfing. And instead of having Eve playing against Cassie, which was the thing that they kept hyping. Eve versus Cassie, because they are the Goku and Vegeta. They want to like showcase that they're going to go toe to toe and everything. That doesn't happen. That doesn't fucking happen. And it's so infuriating that you kind of get it like off screen and imply that they had the game, and then like towards the end of the series Cassie becomes like Eve's caddy, so it's not like they're going against each other now. It's just like against random other characters that joined on season two. So all this build up from season one just kind of like kept on diminishing and diminishing and diminishing, and that's the problem. You can see the vast difference between this image on season two and this image on season one. Like the series becomes normal, and that's what made me kind of lose interest on the series, because it's not like Eve is the most compelling character of all time, or that I had any sort of like real connection to any of the characters. I mean, I like them fine, but it's not like I like them enough that I was going to root for them regardless of whatever situation they were in. I just liked them. They were fine. They were okay. They were cool, you know. But it's not like I connected with Rengoku, for example, that even though he's gone into the clouds, sweet dreams, sweet prince. I still buy the merch. I would never buy the merch for this series, but I still liked it enough to watch second season. But the second season just became normal. It was as if in Yu-Gi-Oh, you on the first season you have the monsters and the holographic, and sometimes you get affected by the holograms for some reason, physically I mean. And then on the second season the holograms are out and you're just like playing and you're seeing them place the cards on a table at a middle school, and that's it. You take the larger than life element which this series initially had, and then it becomes this, just a golf tournament. That's all that it is, just golf, and there an actual golf. That's it. So there, before I give you my conclusion on the series, I gotta touch on one particular part that everyone and their grandmother was talking about on the comments on Crunchyroll, because that's where I saw this thing. And it's the fact that everyone wanted Eve and Cassie to get together. They were simping. I mean, shipping these two girls like people shipped Sakura and Naruto. The way people shipped like Tom Holland and Zendaya, or Zendaya and the other two dudes that she had a threesome with on that other movie. Like, you had people just going left and right wanting them to kiss every single episode, and it never failed to see those comments on Crunchyroll. The episode would be about Eve's father dying or some shit, and you would see the comments, "Oh, I'm still waiting for Eve and Cassie to kiss." I'm like, I never got any sort of like inclination. I never saw the series trying to make a statement that Eve and Cassie were an actual thing. Like, it seemed like they just appreciated the fact that the other played just as good as the other, and they were really good friends, and that's it. Maybe you can make the case, oh, that was flirting right there, or you can make the case, oh, that was just being girl friend silly. But really don't understand why they really wanted Eve and Cassie to get together. I mean, yeah, both of them are two pretty anime girls, and you can make a lot of Rule 34 from it, but there's already a shit ton of that, and the show never made it a point to say, hey, these two characters have something going on. I think it was just mainly the people wishing it to be. But I just had to touch on that because it became like redundant after a while that every single episode for the duration of the entire series, which is more than 30 something episodes, you would have people just like, "Oh, I cannot wait for Cassie and Eve to get together." It's just like I wanted to see opinions of the episode in particular, and the most opinion I got is when are they going to scissor? But anyhow, conclusion to this is the fact that Birdie Wing initially gave me what I wanted. And I'm not saying that this is what a good anime should be, where you take a mundane concept and just making it big, like Yu-Gi-Oh did with a card game. I'm not saying that. I'm saying that what I wanted was golf made fantasy in a way. And that's and the show kind of gave me that by introducing an underground mafia golfing society, different golfers with different quirks, like the robot lady or the Vipress and stuff like that. So it's not that I didn't have basis to say, oh, the show's I wanted this and the show never gave it to me. No, no, no. The show did give it to me, and it was a huge part of the first season. I just really didn't like that on the second season it became like a normal golf tournament, and I learned way more about golf on the second season than I did on season 1, but I did not enjoy season 2 nearly as much as I enjoyed season 1, because season 1 was fun. It was entertaining. Season 2, if you're a fan of golf, you might love this thing because it seemed very accurate to golfing rules, golfing etiquette, golfing tournament, like all of that. It just seemed like that's what they wanted to do at that point. And at the end of the series, is there going to be a season 3? I have no idea. But I don't think I'm going to watch it, to be honest with you, because it feels like the story has now been guided to golf. I wanted more than just that. And the series initially gave it to me and then kind of forgot about it. That's it. Let me know if you've seen this thing. All right, bye.